Who's holding?
If you're not, then nobody.
We were kind of hoping you were.
Who's holding?
If you're not, then nobody.
We were kind of hoping you were.
Do you guys like the thing?
They like it better than no thing.
Are you making out sitting up or lying down?
We started sitting up. We worked our way to lying down.
The plot thickens. Who was on top?
I was straddling it. And he says, well, wait, what about this? And I said, no. He said, well, what do you mean, no? You don't even know what I'm going to say. And I said, I already know what you're going to say to each other. Wake up in the morning together. No. You're going to leave, but I'll see you tomorrow.
Death Proof. This is Quentin Tarantino's 6th film, depending on how you count them. The first half was filmed in Austin, Texas, in and around the South Congress area, which is what you're looking at now. We're cruising down South Congress in April of 2021, just like the girls were during production, sometime around the summer or fall of 2006. The movie was released in April of 2007, and Quentin chose a number of spots in South Congress, like Guero's coming up. We're about to pass up right here in a second, and then that'll actually be featured in a scene later, as well as the Texas Chili Parlor was a big set. There's Guero's right there in the background.
So when are the boys showing up?
You gonna meet us at the Chili Parlor?
Maybe they can bring some pop.
Fuck that.
Hey, that's your last billboard before Guero's.
Oh, come on, give me a break.
Oh, come on my ass. We said every time.
Okay.
So the next scene brings us to Guero's Taco Bar. They actually arrived during the day and they stayed through the night. A little fun fact, they actually filmed inside, or they tried to. They had to take it and rebuild this, the set on stage, and so that's what you actually see in the film. Here's the shot where Kurt Russell's character, Stuntman Mike, rolls up right in front of the restaurant, and Butterfly notices him, and he just kind of gives her a stare down and takes off. And this is what it looks like today. Here's the then and now shot of Mary actually recreating the exit of the girls leaving the restaurant, stumbling around, drunk. Of course, you could not fall over that, where the girls do, because they now have these like plant barriers there. So here's about where Stuntman Mike parks across from Guero's. You see the home slice pizza signage back there, and he's watching the girls leave the Guero's, which he has pictures there of them right there in his visor. And he's going to follow them to the Texas Chili Parlor next, which is where I'm going to take you. Before I do, I wanted to mention the movie Chef, starring Jon Favreau, was filmed here as well. Here's a photo where you can see the exact home slice pizza building in the background. Moving on from Guero's, this brings us to the Texas Chili Parlor, where the girls meet up next for the night, and they're waiting on a couple of guys, and Quentin actually plays the role of the bartender, Warren. And this is on Lavaca Street between 14th and 16th Streets. So here's the inside of the Chili Parlor. A lot of it was actually filmed in the actual restaurant / bar. There was the set piece used for a scene or two, especially in the promo photos that you see, that was built on stage. So here's the table in the corner that the group would have sat and did shots later, which I'll show you in a minute. So this door here, it actually leads to the kitchen, but in the show they put it together with another location to make it look like it's going out to a back patio where the girls go to smoke. I think if anybody who knows the movie Death Proof, they think of this scene the iconic lap dance scene performed by Vanessa Ferlito on Kurt Russell. And I don't know, it's just iconic. Iconic is the best word I've got for it. The bar looks exactly like that, especially when the tables are out of the way. Nothing much has changed aside for like some of the signage and whatnot. Even that back door with the Texas Longhorns banner over it, still there. Here we are trying to recreate the reflection in the mirror shot. There you go. You see me pointing my camera there. In the mirror. There's the same flag. It's still there. The same Lone Star Texas flag up on the ceiling right above the bar. So cool. So here on the other side of the bar, this is where Jungle Julia goes to privately text Chris Simonson to see, you know, is he going to make it? Is he going to stand her up? It's just on the other side, more dining area for patrons to kind of sit and enjoy their food instead of being like right in that bar area. We can't.
What the fuck is it?
Chartreuse. The only liquor so good they named a color after it.
All right, cheers.
Is that a tasty beverage or is that a tasty beverage?
Damn!
Oh, that's actually kind of wow. But seriously though, if you're in the Austin area, stop by the Texas Chili Parlor. They've got great tasting chili. You can get it in big old bowls, small bowls, Frito pie. Get a shot of Chartreuse, and if you get lucky, you'll find you a girl named Butterfly and recite her a poem, and in return she'll reward you with a lap dance you'll never forget. At the 4800 block of Burnett Road in Austin, you might recognize this sign. It can be seen in the background in the night scene at this location. We'll go back to it in a bit. So this is across the street. This is the opening shot of the Texas Chili Parlor, what's supposed to be it. You see the Jungle Julia billboard. It pans down, moves to the right. You see this vehicle come down the alleyway. This is what it looks like today. The car drives through, and then you can see the girls moving over to the right where would have been the back patio of the supposed chili parlor. You can match it up because there's the building right across the street has the exact same light over it where the windows are. The light on the left and on the right, they both match. Now the building I was just pointing to used to be the former Omeletry. It was a popular breakfast diner spot in Austin. Fortunately, due to higher the rent increases, it had to move locations. At the time, they used this lot to sit in for the lot of the Texas Chili Parlor, because in real life the Texas Chili Parlor does not have a parking lot that looks remotely close to that. So this was built in the last couple of years. They leased it out to different businesses, and they used the lot that would sit right here again for the parking lot of the Chili Parlor. Two different locations completely. It was built for the movie to have those scenes that we see. Remember that Camp for Paul sign that I showed you a bit ago? There it is. So of course it's just across the street from the lot where all this takes place. And as you can see, Kurt Russell takes out Rose McGowan's character, and you all know how it ends up for her. There it is, the Camp for Paul sign. Today, nothing's changed really. It looks pretty much exactly like it did in the movie. You can't really line up the shot exactly of Stuntman Mike looking back at the camera and grinning back like he did, because that new building is in the place where you would need to line it up. But this shot here, this is, you just saw where Stuntman Mike pulls out. This is where he asks Pam if she's going right or left. Before he ends up telling her he's going left. So that's what he does. This is it. This is Burnett Road. You can see the sign to the left. Right. Yeah, he pulls out right there. You can see that sign, which I think it said Hannah's Jewelry at the time. The Jungle Julia billboard was that blue billboard back there. You see that building on the right. Not much has changed. And he takes off there. So as you already know, I did these locations with Mary. So, of course, we're going to have a reenactment.
Where's the seat?
Well, this is a movie car. Sometimes when you're shooting a crash, director wants to put a camera in the car. You know, shoot the crash from the inside. That's where you put the camera. They call it a crash box here.
Okay.
What is in real life North Austin sits Stuffed Cajun Meat Market, which was the Circle A convenience store in the film. This is off of Ranch Road 620, and this is where they shot all of it, all of the exterior and interior, which I'll show you here in just a bit. You can see what looks to be the same oil stain, whatever that is. It looks almost exactly the same spot. What, 15 years later after the film was shot? So we're parked in the same spot as the girls were parked in, and this is where Rosario Dawson's character would have had her feet propped out the window, which Kurt Russell comes out and he finds a way to touch them and lick them actually, and plays it off as he's like lost his keys, throws it out on the parking lot as the excuse for bumping into her feet. This is a shot where Mary Winstead's character stands right where the big red vending machine would have been.
What?
Turning around, we see the shot of Mary Winstead's character Lee sitting on the back of the car there. You can match up that brown building in the background. It's the exact same one. Still stands today. Coming around on this side of the car, you can actually see in the background that billboard back there. You can see it in a promo shot of Mary Winstead coming out, and it says Potheads 2 on it. You see that building and its windows there, and you can also see those little signs for the mobile station. All that is still there. Matches up perfectly. So this place closes at 6 p.m. daily. After dinner, we got permission to hang around inside after closing and get some shots, and I'll show you that now. So this is about where the cashier desk would have been, and she checks out, she gets the Allure magazine, she heads out to the front door, which obviously looks exactly the same. I mean, a lot has been remodeled inside. I mean, so now a seafood, a Cajun meat market. The doors match perfectly. Now over here on this side, this is where she actually, after she grabs the Allure magazine, she shows it to Lee there. You can see the freezer back there and these coolers, they match, the exact same ones today. Now the actual cashier desk is in the back where this structure now has been built, that purple, where actually those are restrooms today. The cashier would have been pretty much in the back of the restroom today. And a little further back about right here. And this was all added after the fact. the magazine rack where she gets the Allure edition.
Magazine's by the window.
Right up against the windows here, because there's this shot here where you can, these windows are covered, but it pans this way and you can see their yellow Mustang parked. Would have been parked right in that spot there. So the camera would have did something like this. And then there you'd see the yellow Mustang right there. That's pretty much it. It's now stuffed Cajun meat market. We just had dinner here. It's amazing, amazing Cajun food, seafood. If you're ever in the area, this is technically Austin, going towards Cedar Park, near Lakeline Mall. Definitely come by and stop by and give these guys some business. So I almost forgot to mention, we actually got the exact issue of the Allure magazine, October 2006. That's not the issue from the movie, the screen used, but it is the exact month and year. So of course we got some stills in the exact spots matching then and now with the magazine in hand. And you're going to see more of it here in this last location when the girls get to Jasper's farm to try to get his 1970s Challenger. Alright, one last look at the Circle A, aka Stuff Cajun Meat Market. That's where the Potheads billboard was, and this is where Kurt Russell throws his keys to act as the reason for touching Rosario Dawson's feet. Just like this. Oh, that's where they went.
Hell are my keys. Oh, here they are.
That guy bumped into my feet when he walked by. I don't know why, but that kind of creeped me out.
Okay, last location actually brings us to Zedler Mill. It is about 70 miles south of where we just left at the Cajun Meat Market. In Luling, Texas, is about 35 miles east of New Braunfels. This is the exact path the girls' Mustang would have taken to park at the fictional Jasper's Mill. So it would have rounded this corner here, just like you see there, and park, and then you'd see Jasper come around this corner to the left, right there. That's how it looks today. Okay, again, so the girls parked right in this area, and as you can see, the land has all been updated. You know, it's got a paved sidewalk now, whereas in the film it was dirt. Jasper comes right around that corner and greets them in his own way.
What do you horny gals want?
So this is Zedler Mill. You saw me drive in. This is actually the girl's car. Their Mustang would have been parked back there, but I pulled it a little further just in case there are other people that were coming through. Their office hours are, I believe, 8 to 5, and so when they are open, that gate that I drove through is open for cars to come through. So I parked here. That's where the scene happened there. And the girls had their sidebar here with Abernathy, who convinces them to let her do her magic, and convincing Jasper to let them take his car on a test ride, which we all know what happens after that. But this all happened right here. So let's get in closer and see more of the exact angles. So this is a closer look at the main structure that you see in the background of the more prominent shots at this location. It was a former washroom. So the girls walk up this hill and they meet Jasper up at the top of the hill. Well, Abernathy does. And here is the main shot. This is like, I call it the feature shot of this location. You got that structure we just showed you. And there was a tree right there that's no longer there. 3 trees actually are no longer there. The one right there, and then there was one right to the left, and there was one right there as well. Only one that's still there is the one that you see standing. The car would have been parked way back there, you can see in this shot as well. So on the wider shot, you see that tree bend way over there to the right part of the frame. And then the scene moves up the hill after Abernathy and Jasper officially meet, and right up along the side of the barn. And I call this the handshake shot.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
Jasper.
Hello, Jasper. I'm Abernathy.
The one spot you can match up is that crack there. As you can see, it matches up. The planks obviously match, but they did repair this one open gap there. What better opportunity than to bring out the Allure magazine, the actual Allure magazine shown in the film. Now this isn't the actual one, but it's a copy of it. It's an October 2006 issue. As you can see, it's the exact same issue that Abernathy gets in the Circle A. And yes, I have thumbed through, I've flipped this through this entire magazine, and unfortunately there is no centerfold of Mary Elizabeth Winstead, which I kind of thought, well, you know, that could actually be something. That could be a reality. Like, maybe that's why Quentin picked the magazine, because she was featured. I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead has been a Hollywood actress. First time I saw her was in Final Destination 2 in 2003. So why couldn't she be a centerfold in the 2006 Allure? But nope. Thumbed through the entire magazine and there's not one picture of her. So it was probably something that was inserted by Quentin in the production. But yeah, figure why not bring this out? This is what Abernathy uses to convince Jasper to let them take his car out for a test drive. Speaking of Jasper's car, it would have been parked right in between those two trees. And yes, we brought another little prop with us. It's the closest we can get to it, a white car, a white Hot Wheel. There you go.
That'll give you a better opportunity to get acquainted with our other friends. Lee.
So as you saw Abby introduce Lee to Jasper, you can actually see Lee in the background. She's sitting right underneath that right square window. She's just waiting for all this to be wrapped up. And little does she know, she's going to be left alone with them.
If you'll excuse me for a moment, I'd just like to have a word alone with my business associate.
You ladies take your time.
So Kim and Zoe take their sidebar down that hill. And Zoe wants to let Kim know that, you know, he lets him take the car. She wants to play ship's mass. It's something she's been urging to do for a while, and yeah, she promised at one point that wasn't going to happen anymore, but these are both stunt women, and she's telling her, I guess stunt woman to stunt woman, hey, I want to do this again. Are you okay with that? So they stay right between these two trees. There you go. The trees match up perfectly. Yeah, some of the branches have fallen off, but that one right there is no longer there. But that's where the conversation would have been shot. Now on this angle, Abernathy comes into the conversation, and she's letting the other two know that whatever fun you're about to get into, I want to be a part of it. You can see there's the legs of that first building matching there, and then the far right corner would be where Jasper is kind of waiting next to the car for them to wrap things up.
We're gonna see if this guy lets take the car out without him. If he does, you wait here with Lee and we'll be back in a moment. What?
So here's the third angle of the same conversation, where you see Kim and Zoe in the foreground. And in the background, you can see parked their Mustang right there. But once they convince him to let them take his car for the test drive, they take off down this path, and you get this view of Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is Lee. Yeah, I keep forgetting the character names. You get this view of her right up against the wall there. So they take off. You can see the car driving off that when they stop and they're like, they say,
Hey, good looking. Be back to pick you up later.
and at the same time you've got Jasper here. He's standing right in front of her, and I think the last thing that Lee says, or the sound that she makes, is she actually says,
Go.
So if it wasn't because of this Allure magazine, this October 2006 issue of Allure with Jessica Simpson on the cover, this deal might not have happened. And you must know, so when we decided to do this location video, we're like, we saw the prop in the show, and we're like, how easy is it to get a copy of this Allure, you know, being that it's been almost 15 years since this was issued. And sure enough, Amazon searched for it. They had one seller selling this thing, $10, easy $10. So that's what you do sometimes. I mean, I've bought props for videos like this that cost more than that. So sometimes it's a cost of doing, you know, it adds a little bit more to the video, bringing props from the movie, even though this is not an actual screen used copy. It's a 15-year-old magazine. It's in good shape. This is it. So one more fun fact I wanted to point out about this location is on the other side, which didn't show you because it's not featured in Death Proof, is where they filmed the other feature for Grindhouse, Planet Terror, Robert Rodriguez's film. And that right there would have been the Bone Shack